question I ask myself over and over again. Because I want to get into yoga. Okay, I love Pilates. And I love bar class, ballet, bar, right? So that's what I do. However, as I get older, this rusty carcass of a body that I got here, things are getting stiff. Okay, joints are getting stiff. Things are happening. Also, during the day, I'm doing a lot of repetitive movements at the hospital. So I'm noticing that, my forearms are getting tight. You know what I mean? Gotta stretch those things out. I had the opportunity to go speak with Nicky and Aaron from Ohana. I don't know if it's Ohana or Ohana. Hey, Sana, little Jesus Christ Superstar for you, something. Anyways, I think it's Ohana, an amazing yoga studio, but not just a yoga studio. It's actually like, it says Ohana Yoga Studio and Wellness. Like there's wellness. It's a whole other section of it. And now that Aaron's involved, he's bringing a whole other take on it. He and his wife are now partnering with Nicky and bringing in osteopaths, bringing in all these different people who have all these really different skills, unique skills, to create a community of wellness. It was an amazing talk. We were there quite a long time, and my producer Ben was kind of getting a little bit worried behind the camera because his phone was like losing battery. Because I think we talked for like an hour. It was awesome. Anyways, do you do yoga? If you do, shoot us a message. Let us know what your favorite type of yoga is. I know a few, I think there's like Hatha yoga. Is that the hot yoga? I've done restorative yoga with Nicky, and she's incredible. She's such a good teacher. Or guide. I don't know what she likes to be called, but it's a really good class. It's 90 minutes. You're doing a lot of breathing and just a lot of stretching, and you feel really great afterwards. So check it out. They're coming up next, but first, let's thank our sponsor, Source for Sports. I'm Lisa Bueve, and this is To North Bay with Love.
It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way.
Well, here we are.
Okay.
With Nicky and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I won't call him Aaron, that's me. Okay, so I always do like a little bit of a dive. I just creep you guys a little bit and stuff. And the one thing I loved, that shot out right away on your website, is that it says, on your website under story, right? Because it will say story, classes, schedule as a story. And as soon as you click on story, it says community. And I love that. And I just thought what is it about community? Because I feel like it's in a lot of language, or just a lot of, it's even on the sign. It's just, I don't know. I love that word. What is it about community and yoga, wellness, that you want to put out to the world, or that you feel is important in this day and age?
Well, obviously you picked out the importance. The importance is the community. And for my own experience myself, this started years ago. And I, at a very young age, realized that I was here, put on this planet to serve and to be of service. And it's about being of service to a community and to grow a community. That's something that I've always found extremely important. Is the, what we grew here was a community that moved together towards benefiting our health.
Yeah. And like, it's so funny because I mean, just before we started recording, we're talking about 80s kids and, you know, just this community that we grew up in neighborhoods. Was it like that for you growing up? Like, was that something that you always kind of held dear and kind of said, this is something I want my whole life? Or
I think for me, yeah, community was important. Like a lot of my friends are like family. A lot of my, you know, so for me, yeah, I always had the need to be, and not necessarily like I'm a really good person to be on my own, and I'm very good at being on my own. I'm very good at, you know, but it's the sense of community or the safety. The safety aspect of being in a community, being in a healthy community that doesn't let another one fall behind, or that, you know, is authentic enough to say, hey, I see you, I hear you, I can meet you right here.
Yeah.
And you know, give a path or a direction, and not even give, allow the person to kind of find their direction in the community and where their fit is within that community.
And I love that, because also on the website, you know, we decided to do chairs because Nicky was like, do you want to sit on the floor? And I was like, no, I'd like to go home afterwards and not have to be chair lifted out of here. But, you know, as we can see, like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that too. And, you know, but we talked, I said this when I came in because I recently came and did a class. It was restorative yoga. And it was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, just for me, it was an awesome class, but for me, I felt so disruptive. I felt so, because I was just in a place of like, I do have like a lot of pain in my body. Years in the 90s, I literally flew into a brick wall. We were doing theater. I thought I was going to be a Christmas angel. I was in a mountain climbing harness. I jumped off a 40-foot ladder, went across a 50-foot stage and hit a brick wall and was passed out. Anyways, my poor drama teacher, God bless, she was like, oh my God, my career's over. I've killed her. I've killed a student. But ever since then, my right side's a little higher than my left. Anyways, long story short, I do have, you know, I got to watch certain moves and stuff. And that night I was in, but what I loved about you hit the nail right on the head there when you said you live to serve, because you didn't bring attention to it, you know, because already here I am embarrassed because there's other people in the class and I'm trying not to, you know, I kept having to get up and walk around, and you just kind of allowed me to work through it and allowed me to kind of be here, be present, be part of the community that was there that night. And it was lovely. It was amazing. I left and I just got in the car and I thought, wow, like that was incredible, because Nicky, there was no judgment. There was no, you know, it was just, there you are in that present moment, and forget about the future, forget about the past. This is where we are now, and just kind of, you know, and work through it. And like you brought that, you said it was so interesting, the community, being safe in the community. I would imagine maybe you meant, you know, maybe not getting broken into or things like that, or just, you know, people watching out for each other. But the safety was, I was safe to not be perfect in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the very first reasons why I started the studio years ago, because I realized that I'm not perfect. And I continuously have this journey between myself, my brain, and everything else. Oh, you're not perfect. You don't fit on the mat. Oh, you're this. Oh, you know. And so for me, it's about allowance, grace, giving ourselves grace.
Oof.
Giving ourselves those moments of just being authentic. And I really, truly am not here to fix anyone.
Yeah.
And I'm a conduit. I instruct the next move, but how you move into it is totally your choice.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I may, you know, come up a line, adjust, or whichever, and depending on what's going on, I may come up in a line and adjust or whichever. But there are times when, you know, we need to be able to have our moments and live within our own grace first, because to me, in that circumstance, I wouldn't have allowed you to have your experience.
Right.
And I really, I truly believe that that's the experience you needed to have at that moment.
Yeah.
Because your body was really just releasing, your mind was releasing, and yeah, so no, totally.
It was awesome. Yeah. We have someone sitting here with us. Aaron.
Okay.
Hi.
Who are you, Aaron? You're obviously somebody who is here. You are what do they call, is it a guru? Is it a yogi? Is it a practitioner? What do we call you?
Well, I think Aaron would suffice.
Just Aaron, no last name. It's just Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just parachuted in here.
Okay.
I saw Nicky and I was like, oh, this is good.
Are you from North Bay? Are you okay.
I moved here about 3.5 years ago, and the way that we moved to town, me and my spouse, we had been told North Bay was a good place to live and work, and we had been living up north in a place called Sioux Lookout.
Yes.
You ever heard of this?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I needed to get out of there. We were looking for somewhere to go, and this was during COVID when you weren't supposed to travel or move around.
Right.
And we were driving. We weren't supposed to be driving. And we looked at the hospital and we were like, hey, that's that spot where we heard was a good spot to work.
Okay.
And when that happened, the wheel fell off our car.
No, like at that moment.
Like 2 seconds after, and it made like a ka-dunk dunk, and then we were like, okay, we probably should have listened to that weird noise a long time ago. First of all.
Yeah.
And then people started stopping.
Yeah.
Including a police officer who was also really nice. We were like, we're not breaking any COVID restrictions. We were.
Yeah.
And people were stopping, and we ended up staying in town a couple days to get this conundrum sorted out. And we were like, we really like it here. Okay. And that was kind of when we decided to move here, essentially. We tried working at the hospital. We're both trained as physicians.
No way.
We liked it.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah, we liked it. We worked in the ER and in the hospital. My partner still works there. And it was good. I enjoyed it, but I'm not working there anymore. And I was kind of in a moment of moving away from hospital medicine, hospital health. I was finding, for me, it just wasn't bringing me the fulfillment that I wanted at the moment. So I did enjoy working at the hospital. I worked there for a bit over a year. And then it was time to try something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was it. So had you done yoga your whole life, or is this new?
So I'm not a yogi per se.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how you define it. Nikki, am I a yogi?
I think you're a yogi. I think you're a yogi.
I don't know the definition.
Yeah.
My story with this stuff is that almost 15 years ago, I was in Nepal, and I was just exploring randomly. This was before I was starting my residency training, which is pretty arduous, and I was, looking for myself somewhere. And I was in Pokhara in Nepal, and I ended up following someone that I thought was pretty at the time into a meditation retreat. Like, it kind of led me to a meditation retreat. I didn't seek the meditation retreat, actually. And I was like, this is really interesting. And I remember sending an email to some friends that were undergraduate friends and being like, hey, here's a poem, and it was about tuning into what's going on, and they were like, yeah, that's just called meditation. That's not a poem. That's just something people do. And I was like, oh, it seemed poetic to me at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about it. And so from there, I got progressively more interested in meditation and yoga and different mind-body activities. And I'd been kind of led around India a number of times, and this was mostly at the time for medical training. So I was in India for medical training, kind of made it like, oh, my medical training is taking me to India. And I didn't really know why at the time. I was curious to explore, but I was finding something that was bringing me back. So I went 3 times, once as a medical student, once as a resident, once when I was finished work, to do some kind of teaching and more like sharing with people in India, in a remote community in India. And I was being really drawn to the other things that were happening at the time. And I didn't really realize it or put it into words quite at the time, but it was drawing me in a different way.
Okay.
And then I found myself going back, and this was kind of during my transition, when I said to my partner, Lucy, I said, what I do, I was not happy with the situation. It wasn't like the people at the ER or it wasn't all the system thing. It was just not feeling right to me progressively. And, you hit those moments where just things aren't working for you.
Right.
And she was like, maybe you should go back to India again. And I was like, yeah, that's it. We don't need the quick fix. But.
Yeah.
And I went back, and this time not as a medical professional, but as just a seeker and someone interested to learn. And I was taking more yoga, and I actually wandered into Dharamshala, where the Dalai Lama lives. And it just so happened, I was like, I need to see this guy. He seems so cool.
Gonna knock on his
And
door.
these Tibetans that were in the cable car going up to Dharamshala were like, you're here to see the Dalai Lama. I was like, yes. And they were like for the ceremony. And I was like, yeah.
Yes.
Is there a ceremony? And it turned out that was his one annual long life ceremony. And I was just in time.
Aaron.
So I was like, okay, tell me where I go.
Aaron.
And they pointed to his palace. They said, go there at 5:30 in the morning. And I did. These are just
Divine intervention. This is like Eat, Pray, Love right now. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
You were meant to be there. Like, you were meant to be there at that moment.
It felt surprising
Man.
because my trip kind of started with that, and that was kind of one of my goals was like to meet this guy.
Yeah.
And it kind of started like that, and I was like, well, now what? Like, have I done the trip? And so there was a lot of yoga, meditation, talking to people, thinking about like, what is this world? What's my role in it? What is community? What is health?
Right.
What is actually going on here? Which is a question maybe like I hadn't asked myself that much for a while.
Yeah. Like in the world, you mean? What is
Yeah, in our own experience.
Yeah.
What is this?
what is this?
Like
Yeah.
I felt like I had been propelled almost through some kind of momentum and moving for a long time, but then I was like, where am I going?
Why am I
This
doing? Yeah. Why do I do what I
tower
do?
to nowhere, this ladder put up against some building. What building is it? Where am I?
You must have, or maybe you didn't. Did you get pushback? Like when people kind of, like you're a physician, you're a doctor, like you went to med school, you can't possibly do anything else in your life.
Yeah.
That's it. That's your path, and that's where you have to stay. And I mean, how did family and friends react to this? All of a sudden, you're like,
couched
"Hey
this
guys."
in a way. At the time, I was just like, I'm going to take a moment. So it was really interesting. So I was talking to the docs at the hospital and just being like, I'm getting this dread, this sense that I shouldn't be here, this sense of anger. I'm not. This isn't working for me. It's anxiety, and they were like, do you? Like no one. I thought people would say like,
Right.
oh wow, you're weak.
Hello.
Weak sauce.
Yeah. You're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to do.
This is what you're supposed to do. No one said that. Maybe they were thinking it.
Yeah.
I think some people thought I was going crazy.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
seems clear.
Yeah.
But Tim Percival, one of the doctors at the hospital, was like talking to someone as a side conversation. He was like, yeah, you go to India to find yourself and you realize yourself doesn't want to work here anymore. And then I was like, pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And I just kind
Wow.
of, I hadn't made a commitment. I kind of just took some time
Yeah.
away from the ER, which I had warned them that I was going to do. I don't think anyone was surprised about this. And then I took some time off just to kind of be like, what am I doing here? And so one way of getting away from this sense of like, oh no, I still got to work is that I did actually continue with some roles as a quote unquote physician.
Okay.
But the role that I kind of trained into and retrained into is like psychotherapist, mental health, addictions work, mind body stuff. And so this kind of aligns with that. So it's like I actually did, after a number of months of just being like, what am I doing here? I was like, oh, I got it. And so I have an office in town in North Bay. I have an office here, and we use the studio as well. And so I'm continuing this role, and in fact, I feel more effective at it at this point.
Yeah. And awesome that you have a supportive partner too, right? That Lucy was like, maybe you need to go back there, right? Like instead of just like, no, we have bills to pay. That's it. This is the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the
Yes.
real world?
Yeah.
What is that? Like, I mean,
Well,
that's another,
really what it
it's like,
is.
what is it? Yeah.
we have been scripted into believing that everything has to go a complete certain way, that when we deviate from those lines, we're actually in fear of trying something new or caught in those same progressional paths back and forth. And as we change or we explore, I mean, that's resilience is scary.
Yeah.
And having, big things happen, like where, okay, so this isn't the job that I want to be. How, be in. How do I move this forward and where do I go? You asked me about community. Really, if I take a look at yoga actually translates to union.
I was just gonna it's from Sanskrit, right? From the Sanskrit root of yuj or yuj, however they say it.
Yeah.
Meaning to join, to yoke, to unite.
To unite. And so, and that's where for me, even though like yoga's really important, it really is, because it's brought me on an incredible journey of better health, resilience, self-understanding. Sorry, I just lost my glasses.
Okay, you're excited.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Self-understanding, discovery. A lot of tears sometimes. I mean, my mat. I sometimes joke and say, "Oh, my mat just saves everybody else's life around me and my own."
Yeah.
But it really is. It's beyond the yoga. And so one of the things, like when my husband who passed away a few years ago, our biggest thing for building Ohana was not even just the yoga studio. It was about helping a community move forward in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And what I love about Aaron is that is one of the things that we share deeply. It's the love for people and the understanding or the ability to be able to go, okay, so this is the situation at hand. And let's move forward in this.
Yeah.
Let's try the healthiest way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, we get caught up and hung up. Like, is the Western approach the best? Is the Eastern approach the best?
Yeah.
I mean, Darren and I years ago started this well before, like we started thinking, no, there's got to be a mix of both. And really, we are accountable for our own health.
Yeah.
I went into yoga in a reactive state. I was sick. My body had broken down. My brain had broken down. I was going through all kinds of different diagnoses. And I had started yoga years ago, much to like a friend had said, oh, you need to do yoga. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was 130 pounds heavier than I am right now. I couldn't touch the floor. I could barely walk. And I looked at her and I said, you're not seeing me. Like, you want me to go on a yoga mat. And I was so angry. I ended up going.
Okay.
Thank gosh.
You went angry, but you went.
I went. And I walked into the wrong class and thought, oh, great. But at the same time, after the class, I had about 2 hours of medication-free, no pain. And I thought, what happened? Yeah. And so I remember calling Darren and saying, something just happened to me. I just took a yoga class and I've had no medication and I don't have pain. And of course the pain came back, and it's not to say, oh, it's just free of pain. No.
Yeah.
It's finding that balance between the pain and the no pain. And what the yoga does is it helps to bring everything kind of and rebalances the body, the brain, and the spirit.
Yeah.
Because the minute the brain starts to break down, the body will start to hurt. Or if the body's in pain, the brain will start to hurt. And what we end up doing is losing our light and our spark.
North Bay's turning 100, and what a time to be here. From the buzz of the Heritage Parade to sunset concerts at the waterfront, the city is alive with celebration. And you know who's right in the middle of it all? Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. We're proud to be a part of this milestone moment. Whether you're coming home from a family reunion, planning a gathering with friends, or just simply making the most of everything the Centennial has to offer, our doors are open. Stay in a spacious suite that feels like home, with a full kitchen to cook in, room to relax, and a space to unwind after a full day of fun. Are you hosting something bigger? Our event spaces and amazing local partners like the Grand and Stock Transportation make it easy to bring people together. Best of all, they're just steps from the action. The fireworks, the food trucks, the music, the laughter, it's all right here. Celebrate 100 years of North Bay with us. Use code Centennial to save on your stay anytime this year. Be at home with Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. Join the party today at 495 Oak Street West or give us a call at 705-495-3000.
Dear North Bay, you've always been more than a place on the map. You're home to me. This is where I built a life with my husband, raised our kids, and taught in local schools for over 24 years. I'm proud to be part of this community. Earlier this year, my world shifted. After living with anxiety, depression, and PTSD for much of my life, I reached a point where I couldn't keep going alone. Walking into the emergency department at the North Bay Regional Health Center was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But what I found there changed everything. A nurse who made me feel safe, a crisis worker who truly listened. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. That care gave me hope, and it inspired me to give back by supporting local healthcare so that others in our community can access the same compassionate care I did. If my story resonates with you, I hope you'll consider supporting the NBRHC Foundation. Please visit nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125 to give. Because mental health is health. With gratitude, Tiffany Van Meer.
My mom had said there was I can't tell you the name of the doctor, but anyways, this was years ago, and he wrote a book, which she read, and it was about pain. And it was about what pain does to a body and to a brain and to your spark, to that spark, right? Because if you, I mean, and yeah, there are some days where, you know, I get myself into a situation and it's, you're crabby, you're grouchy because you're in pain. But it's interesting that you said that about your yoga experience, because after my horrendous, embarrassing, encounter here. I'm not even joking. I thought I was going to be a mess the next day. Like, I remember saying to my coworker, Kelly, I said, look, I might call in sick because I'm probably not going to be able to move. Opposite. Like, I felt good the next day. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? What is happening? Like you, I mean, things came back and stuff, but I was really surprised because I was bending and moving in ways that I hadn't done in years. And I thought, oh man, I'm going to be in traction. This is going to be bad. No. Like, interesting. Okay, wait, there was something. Oh, yeah, because when I went on the website, that's the other thing. Like, you talked about how you kind of came into it in a reactive way. And I think maybe, I know that a lot of people listening and watching are, they say yoga. Okay, go to a yoga class. I do it myself. I think of Lululemon models in their gorgeous, matching Lululemon high-waisted with their like manicure and their lip flips and their whatever. Anyways, and they walk into a studio and they don't sweat and then they leave and have a matcha tea. That's not everybody. And so I think that intimidates people. Like, people, like they go, I can't even touch the ground. I don't know the last time I sat cross-legged. I can't do a yoga.
Oh gosh, the first time I went for training in India, I had no idea. I'm going to admit, I had done hatha yoga and just restorative, needed help, needed assistance. Yeah. A friend of mine says, hey, I'm doing my teacher training in India. I thought, great, I'm going to go. And she said, are you doing your teacher training? And I had a lot of fear. And I said, no. I said, are you kidding me? No. I'm just going to go and participate. Okay. And I realized my very first day when I went to participate, I was with the cover of Yoga Journal magazine. I literally was. And I went, oh, I don't fit here. And I cried for 3 weeks, but I still practiced. Oh God, I have a huge story on resilience. But what ended up happening was when my mindset finally flipped over to, hey, I belong on this mat. It was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, in the sense, and it wasn't an accomplishment as in, hey, I'm really cool or this or that. The biggest reward for me was walking up to assist the people that were in the Yoga Journal magazines and going, yeah, you don't touch my body, because I did not fit into the style or to the expectation. Yes. When they would say, hey, can you come and do the adjustment that you did yesterday, because I feel freaking awesome. And that was when I thought, okay, I can help people. Yeah. I can help people. Yeah. And so I ended up signing up late for my teacher training, because my teacher said, you're doing all the work. Why are you not?
You are a teacher.
You are a teacher. Why are you not doing this? Right. And so I did.
I love it.
Yeah. And then, like Aaron went back again, but different areas, different teachers, different things. And, so it's been a pretty incredible journey, through life.
Can I jump in on the yoga train?
Yes.
I mean, so the Lululemon image of yoga in the West is so interesting. And like, yoga itself has nothing to do with that. In the concept, the original concept of yoga, it means union. And so the idea is like this union of like mind, body, and spirit. And I mean, whatever you believe in. And there's actually different avenues. And the avenue of the movement is actually just one of the avenues. So some of the avenues don't relate at all to movement. So yoga itself isn't even about that at its core. Yeah, and so like there's avenues. So there's one avenue that they talk about like Hatha yoga or Raja yoga, which is
I've heard of
movement-based.
Hatha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the original kind of yoga, or a lot of the yoga that people were doing. But then there's karma yoga. And karma means that you do service through action. It's service. It's about service.
Exactly. So things like please, yeah.
So I got this. I'm like, okay, I'm on a train.
You're
it's
on a train,
moving.
go.
So karma is about action. It's about service. And so a lot of this project for me, like it's about service here. Like it's not necessarily about the movement. It's like what's
That's
the
your
service
part.
being
Okay.
provided
Yeah.
for me, but also like these other people, like nurse practitioner, osteopath, massage therapist. It's like they're providing service. And as a community space, like that's a service. That's a service idea. So with like the kitchen and having like we had a cooking class and people coming, and these are the kind of things that like for me is the yoga. It's not necessarily like the movement, meditation, providing meditation ideas, and then there's other paths too. So there's 4 fundamentally in this model. So there's, if I've got this right, so there's bhakti as well.
So the movement, the service, bhakti.
Yeah, there's.
What's bhakti?
The relationship to the divine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yes.
so how could you do that in practice? Just by, well, I guess serving your community and helping others.
It's all encompassing. So it's,
And then what's the 4th?
Yeah, so one of the ways that bhakti is important is like it's about like getting out of your way, which is something we always think about in society. It's about surrender. And I know we hate the word surrender in the West.
That's easy.
Yeah, so we hate the word surrender, but it's basically like when people say like you're getting in your way, it's basically acknowledging a larger process.
that's right.
Yes.
So like in this process, it's acknowledging like I don't understand why like this has come together, like why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like it's getting out of the way and being like this is a larger thing, like community, like is part of the process.
Would control have to do with that?
Would control have to do with
Like surrendering to controlling everything in your life?
exactly.
Taking you to control?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I learned that lesson. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it took me a while to learn it, but holy smokes, when I did, my life has become so much easier.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So there's more aspects than just the physical. So on the Western side, we look at the physical first,
It's
right?
all about
Right?
exercise.
We got to get strong. We got to get this.
Get your buttocks looking like this, and your
Yeah, you know,
That's all
for
it
me,
is.
my first goal was just get me physically, mentally, and spiritually well.
Yeah.
And so that was my very first goal. And honestly, it took me 30 years. The weight loss has been the last 2 years where I said, oh, what am I missing? I de-escalate.
Okay.
De-escalation. So take the stress out. Do the prayers. And not that necessarily, but formulate. So what we do, if you're using all of those aspects in your life practice, because really yoga is all of life.
It's life. It's a life practice.
It's life.
It's not,
So
it's a
like,
way
and
of
think
being,
about it.
right?
The way you structure a class, you structure slow, meditative, you know, kind of getting into the zone. You come up, you escalate the class, and then you de-escalate the class. How do we live our lives? We get born.
Yeah.
It slows. We escalate through lives. Like, hey, you asked me how your 40s were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You got to achieve everything, right?
Hello.
And then as you come down, and as, you know, like I'm 61 years old now, and I'm going, I don't think I need to be all that. I don't think I need to be front and center. I don't think I need all of this. Anything that I own, I really don't own. I give to my community.
Right.
My community uses it. And that's how,
Why can't we have those brains when we're 20? 'Cause I'm 48 now. No, seriously, like I'm 48, and these are all things that are coming to the forefront now. And I'm realizing all these things. I don't need this. I don't need possessions. I know I need quality time with my best friends. I need that connection. I need community. I need conversations that are real conversations. Like,
So I want to jump on that, and then I want to get to the 4th type of yoga.
Okay.
So jumping on that, it's like some people describe like the first half of life and the second half of life, like the first in psychology. So the first half of life is like you're kind of shot out into this thing. You have no idea what's going on, and you're trying to basically survive.
Right.
And it's like literally like there's this rushing river, and you're just like trying to not drown. And so that's like the first half of life. And some people do that in 20 years. Some people do that their whole life. They never come out of that.
Right.
And then the second half of life is this phase where suddenly your feet are planted. You're seeing the river go by, and you're like, okay, now what?
yeah.
So it's like this question of, meaning, greater purpose, like why are we here, which maybe are unanswerable questions, but then like kind of living through that kind of action.
And choosing, I think you're able to choose what you want to seek out and what you want an answer to and what you don't need one.
Yeah.
You can kind of let a lot go.
And every person is different. Every
sweat the
person's
smell.
path
Yeah.
is different. And so some people, it's like no judgment. It's like some people like live their whole life in that first thing, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And some people don't. Some people, are a kid and they, they're like, wow, like what's going on here? And sometimes that's actually hard in our society if you ask too many questions.
Yeah.
So it's like better, worse. So this fourth type of yoga is called Gyan. Gyan, knowledge, truth.
Okay.
So it's like we've talked about movement, which is like yoga at the studio.
Okay.
We've talked about karma, which is like service. We talked about bhakti, which is trying to get out of your way and trying to see a bigger thing. And now Gyan is knowledge. And this is so important too. And it's like, so where we're both coming from different sides is different knowledge systems, which are all important.
Oh my
Western
gosh,
medicine,
absolutely.
important.
Yeah.
Yoga,
Yeah.
Important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spirituality.
All of it, yeah.
Important.
Yes.
Everything, being part of a community. It's like, so it and that's how we kind of work together in so many ways.
Yeah. And in knowledge, in the question of Gyan is actually like, what is actually going on here? So the question I asked was like, what's going on here? It's like, what's the truth about myself? What's the truth about society? What's the truth about the world? Those are hard questions.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily a lot to hold on to, but this can be a very direct way of kind of, you could say, letting go of a lot of misperceptions.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And getting out of your own way, because that's the thing too. Like that's really hard to do, especially being a people pleaser, which I know that and you live to serve, and you live to making making people happy, making people laugh, and that's why I'm put on this earth is to entertain and to make people laugh, and I love it, and I get such a charge from it. Like being on stage is every cell in my body is exactly where it should be. Perfect. Like it's a complete. It's and then and being tired, like, and my friends and I talk about this. Maybe that's kind of our fifth way of yoga or something. But like when we do a show and then we come down and we do a show for a week or something, and you're so exhausted, and it's the best exhaustion of your life. It's like satisfying you just because you're on this earth to do what you do. And I think like that, what you've done is incredibly, like it's so brave. It really is. Because there's not a lot of people who train in something, very specific, where there's a lot of years of schooling and a big price tag and expectations maybe, from family or friends who have done this before them. And all of a sudden they kind of go, no thanks. And it's a brave thing, in society,
useful.
right?
But
Like
all of
and
it's still
useful,
useful, and that's the thing is like, would I take it back? No.
Yes, and please don't think you're not saying no to it, but you're just that being at the hospital, right? Like
it's
traditional.
so interesting. It's like I've almost sometimes when I'm sitting with somebody and I think like, thank God for that like 15 years of like hospital and medical experience, because like you've gone through like pain, suffering, dying, illness. A lot of things that people really, really struggle with, and mental health stuff too. Like seeing people with depression, anxiety, suicidality. It's like that's just been like the game for the last little while. And plus, like looking at the systems in the world and the way they work. So it's like it's still really useful, and I'm really grateful to have done it, and I'm really grateful to be doing what feels like aligned with alignment, yoga union with what works for me right now.
And you probably, that was probably your path anyway. You know what I mean? Like you had to do that to be able to do what you're doing now. Like you couldn't have,
exactly.
It all helps and it all makes sense.
Exactly. Which explains right there why I did not go up to you and go, hey, are you okay? Is everything fine? How can I fix this? What can I do? Because it's your path and you need to sort through. If you needed me, you would look at me and go, I saw that you were doing what you needed, and at the same time, you weren't necessarily being overly disruptive or anything like that. What it was that you did what you had to do. So it was easier, in all honesty, for me to allow you to just be you. And sort through.
Just living it. Living it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how do we allow each other to be each other? How do we allow each person to be themselves and like do the thing that brings them joy, that puts them in the right spot? And if I think as a society and community, if we could do that, like imagine how we'd be doing. And a lot of people say like, no, that's not possible. That would be chaos. And maybe. So like there's a rule, there's a
yeah.
spot for rules, but it's
Yeah.
also like, I think a lot of people haven't asked them the question of truly what does call them in a deeper way. And maybe it is possible that people could do a bit more close to home of what they want to do.
Yeah.
Of what they want to do. I know.
Like,
Yeah.
and so for me, like if I look at my illness, the way it was, the illness, what did the illness bring me? Because I could have, in my 30s, I could have just grabbed a bed, whatever, and said, okay, this is my life. I'm in the wheelchair. They it was expected. I wouldn't have a voice by the age of 48. I wouldn't, there was different things. So my whole thing was, I don't want to be that poster child. And not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I just didn't want to be in that box of, well, you're sick, you've got this, this is life, it stops. And I thought, and I'm one of those personalities, tell me not to do something and I'm going to figure it out.
You're going to do it.
I'm stubborn. I am stubborn as they get.
You a Taurus?
No, I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Enough said. Yeah. And so, when, I actually did go to one of the groups and I thought, that's not where I belong. So when I found yoga and then I started to participate, it was a 3-year battle for me of on and off the mat. But then when I finally surrendered, it has brought me so much. And I've said to Aaron, I said, I still do graphic design sometimes. I use it for here. And I still do different things and projects and stuff. However, I feel really blessed because I have been able to share something that has created a healthy being with so many people. And it all came out because I was ill. But I've been lucky enough to live a life where I get to share my spark, what really makes me truly happy, with so many. Yeah. And isn't that the great way to live life?
That's kind of the only way to live life, right?
I would think.
I mean, what's the point otherwise?
Yeah, what's the point?
And don't you say that? Do you say that at the end of class? I feel like you said, honor the spark or love the spark. There was something in the class about the spark. Love your spark?
Say, remind yourself that, you're your biggest love.
Yeah.
Send love out to those that you love, those that love you back. And sometimes I'll kind of chide and say, even the ones that don't love you, send them love.
Send them
they
love
need
anyway.
love.
Yeah.
Send them love anyways.
Yeah.
Send love out to your community, to the universe, and back to your spark. Right. Ignite, and always keep that, here, this is our home. Yeah. It's not where, we live in places.
Right.
This is home. And if we can keep our home safe, healthy, and find the resources. And really what Aaron and I have here is a resource. Mm-hmm. It is a spot of, whether it be yoga, you name it, the nurse practitioner, the MSALA machine, the psychotherapy.
Workshops, you have workshops going on.
All kinds of workshops.
Yeah.
We've got, all kinds of different, we've got a holistic health practitioner. So it's a beautiful, we've got a registered RMT, it's a beautiful complement of each other's skills that actually union together really well.
And I think one of the things that excites us most is just having people from the community coming to do stuff. So like a friend was like, hey, can I have this guy come and do a breathwork workshop? Ooh. And he had it for a couple days and I just attended. I was like, this is great. I get to attend now. Right. So it's like, Lakshmi from the Himalayan Cafe did a cooking class, which I just loved.
Yeah.
And taught about Ayurvedic cooking. And I'm still thinking about it.
I had no idea that existed.
I hope
so cool.
She's going to do more, she says.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, so when we were there and like taking that, I was like, I'm just taking the class, and I was like, this is it. It's like people together, different ages, different backgrounds, eating food, talking, drinking tea together in a kitchen. It's like, when we talked about at the start, the community, like we need each other. Like we can't do it alone.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
We aren't doing it alone.
I know. And I mean, COVID really did, it showed that a lot, right? Before we go, what does Ohana mean?
Ohana really means family. It means family, whether it's blood, whether it's not blood related. It's being in a community where nobody gets left behind. So one of the things that we've always done at Ohana is like 4 times a year we have a free week. There's no registration, there's no anything. I actually refuse registrations during those weeks. So because no, this is my week or our week where we just share and have fun. Yeah. And there's no book work, there's no money, there's no nothing. It's just pure gratitude to whoever has been supporting Ohana for almost 30 years now. And whoever is brand new. And it's just our way of saying welcome to our community. And it's also our way of saying thank you. Because I am so grateful for so many things in my life. And it's, yeah. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I guess along those lines of family, it's like, it definitely feels like now that we've kind of come together in this new iteration, which I'm grateful for, and which we both didn't feel good about kind of letting this go. Like, it felt like there was such a community resource, and so I'm glad it worked out.
I was going to sell, is what Aaron was saying.
Oh, shoot. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't feel good about it, and I was like, Nikki, like, what do you really want? And then she wanted someone to partner with her, maybe, and I was like, I guess I could do that. It wasn't specifically an interest, but the service thing, I was like, this seems important, and it was calling me to do stuff here. And so along the lines of family, it's like, it feels like family, like with Nikki, and then the people that are also working here, we're getting to know each other, the people that come. And it's money is challenging for a lot of people. It's really hard for me. It's like, if people don't have money, they can just come. Like, there's no issue. And it's like, I would love like this Dana or donation model, which doesn't always work, but like, people can come and give if they want. Like, we have to, make repairs to the building and do other stuff. And, money is needed for the way the world works. But I'd love it to be family first and like money second if money has to play. Yeah. That's just my feeling.
No, but that's how I've always kind of ran. Because I've never turned anyone away. Like, all I need to hear from somebody is say, I really need to do this. I think it'll be good for me. But I can't afford. And I say, well, come. And when they come, either it'll work out in the situation that they just come, they start feeling better, they either stay, they move on. That's another thing I tell people. I may not always be your teacher. I don't expect everybody to stay with me for their whole life. If I'm a jumping start on whatever, I'm the stone that you take off on. It's the same with our practitioners and everything. There's been so many practitioners that have come in and out, and we've got a couple that are just starting out, like their careers up here. Like our osteopath just moved up. She was teaching in the osteopath university in Hamilton, and she's just moved up here. She's lovely. But it's like, she says, oh my gosh, she says, I am so glad that I found you, because she feels safe starting her business here. And so people start up, they move on, they come back, they move on. And that's how life goes, right?
Exactly. It's like the river. It's the river. It's either going on past you or you jump in a dinghy and you join in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't really know where this is going. Like, we have ideas, but like, we want to see like what serves the community.
Yeah,
and
what
so
does the community need?
May have things that come up, that they want to do. Like, we've been doing some stress reduction workshops, and someone just asked us, hey, can you do one for our business? And we were like, I guess we could. We've never done that before. But it's like, we'd like to be of service to the community, and like, even just having the space be used. We don't need to be involved. Like, that's great. Just like, to see people coming and going, eating together, moving together, doing stuff together.
Our kitchen is all health unit approved. So if somebody wanted to come in, run their own thing, they could run a whole retreat here.
Oh my gosh!
And we would just move out of the way and say, okay, this is what you do.
Cooking. My coworker Louise Warren, you have her book out in the. She said that I told her I said, I'm going to Ohana. We're going to talk to. And she says, oh my God, yes, he did the stress relief workshop.
Yeah.
I think, so she mentioned it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Which is, my gosh, people need stress.
That's a whole other podcast right there.
That's our next one.
Shoot.
That's our next one.
This has been awesome.
Yeah.
I really, really loved this talk.
Okay.
I loved it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
for being on the
Thank you
podcast.
for
Yeah,
We should
thank
do
you
another
for
one.
coming.
We should come
Thank
back
you.
like in a year and kind of see where it's gone, where it's flourished,
Yeah,
and
we don't
what's
know.
going
We'll
on
see.
now. You
We'll
know,
know,
but
yeah.
this has been awesome.
Well,
I
thank
love
you.
talking to you two.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing out all the good stuff.
Got a good vibe. It's good. The vibes are good.
Aren't they great? Aren't they amazing? Oh, talk about they're just like kindred spirits. They were just really, I love the vibe. They just have this really optimistic, open, honest, true vibe about them. When you're talking to them, there's just a really easy way about being in their presence, and you can tell that they just welcome ideas. They're welcoming people into their space, and they just really want to create this amazing community. I did restorative yoga with Nicky, back in like 2018, but then I recently just went with a coworker of mine, actually, just a couple weeks ago, and it was great. It was great. It was kind of psycho. The night that I was there was just, it wasn't a good night for me. But like Nicky said, she had to let me go through it. She had to just be there, be present, and allow me to work through whatever I had to. Just like anybody who's going to go there, right? It's because every journey is just unique. So, highly recommend checking out their website. They have many different classes to choose from. Go check it out. And I'll see you next time. Okay? Take care of each other. Until next time. Much love, North Bay.